Okay. So in Java we are having two different variables. One is called as local variable and the other one is called as global variable. For suppose if I am declaring any of the value within some method or within the main method. For suppose if I am printing int a equal to 5, this a cannot be accessed outside this main method. If I
Yeah.
want to perform some operation by creating a method here, public void print, and if I'm asking it to print a, it will throw me an error.
Mm.
Oh, it is saying that create local variable, means it is asking it to create one more variable here which is named a. It is not able to detect it because the scope of this a will lie
Outside
starting from
main
here
method.
and it will end here within that bracket where you have defined. Only within that
Yeah.
you will have. If you
Yeah.
want this value to be accessible everywhere, then
Mm.
you have to declare it below the
Public
just
class.
before outside the main method, and there also you need to specify. Now if you run you won't get any error. Now you'll get 5. Nice one. You have to specify static keyword, static space int.
Mm.
And this method also needs to be static because okay, sorry, I did not call
Because we
I
have
did not, no, I did not call this method actually. Demo today dt equal to new demo today dt dot print. Now if you are declaring it outside the class, it becomes a global variable, means you can access this value throughout the class.
mm.
And if I am giving static before it, that means I cannot change its value. If I am trying to put a equal to 10 inside the local variable,
Mm.
it's giving a, sorry, final. If you use both static and final, then it will get an error. Now I have used the keyword final. So what it is saying, I cannot change the value throughout the class. Sorry for the confusion. If you use final, then you can't change the value throughout the class. It will throw you error. But if you are using only static keyword, it means that you're just giving it a memory allocation. So it will give you the value. You will be able to change the value, but its memory is allocated at the compile time only.
But, yeah, I got it.
Now see, you are able to access this A outside the class within the method, but if you are trying to print it within the main method, it is saying that it cannot work because I'm not using the wait, I'll say it in this way. When you are using a static keyword, the
Mm.
variables also should be static, which are outside the class. Now if I want to use this a variable which is present outside the class, then I'll get an error saying that static members cannot reference a non-static reference. This is a non-static variable because it is
Construct
not
variable.
having static keyword before. So I'll get an error. If you see this, cannot make a static reference to the non-static field A.
Static field.
So
Okay.
in order to make this non-static variable accessible, either you have to create an object, which you have done. That's why you're not getting error when you are using this print method. But you are using it directly means then you have to definitely give a static keyword before it. Now it will print 2 times. 5 5. Every time if you are writing within a static method, then if you are then you will get the compile time error if you are not using the static keyword. For suppose if I am not creating this object, if this I am commenting this code,
So it will not print.
If I'm no, because I'm not calling that method, it won't happen. If I'm using the static keyword, and if I'm trying to print this method, if I'm using static keyword, I don't need to create an object. I can directly call the method. But now here again it is saying an error because this is a static method and this variable is a non-static member.
Non-static method. Yeah, yeah.
This is the difference between static and non-static variables. But coming to the local and global variables,
Hmm.
if you want it to be accessible everywhere, you should give it outside the class. And for suppose if I am declaring this int a equal to 5 only
Hmm.
within this method, only within this print method, and if
Hmm.
I am trying to call it within the main method, it will say that it is an error because this is a local variable which is created only for this particular method. I cannot access this value outside this method.
Okay.
It should if starting from this braces inside until here only you can say that this a is 5. For
And
suppose
what if the object is created? Then we can access it.
if I gave a equal to 10 here and
Hmm.
here I'm having a equal to 5, and now if I try to print, it will
Okay.
directly print me 10, but I need to give a static keyword here. Static keyword here. See, now it is printing me 10 but not 5.
Okay. Okay.
It's because the scope of this value is only within that method.
Yeah.
So in interviews, they will ask you what is the scope of local variable and what is the scope of global variable. Local variable means its scope will be present only within its method, whereas for global variable, it is accessible everywhere in the class.
Okay.
And if you are using final keyword,
Yeah. It's like throughout the program, it will be the same value for the
yeah, if you are trying to change the value, then you will get an error.
error. Yeah.
So if I run, if I'm trying to change the value,
Hmm.
a equal to 10, if I'm just trying to change the value, then I'll get an error saying that you cannot, the final demo keyword cannot be assigned. So you cannot change the value of a final keyword. Now you have to understand two different types of errors. One is compile time error. Compile time error means as soon as you save the code, as soon as you write the code, if you are
Hmm.
seeing any errors on the screen, it is called as compile time error.
Yeah. Hmm.
And there is one more error called as runtime error, which you will see in today's class. So today I just want to discuss about basics of arrays.
Yeah. It is. Yeah.
Okay. As now you have till date you saw that there are four different types of data types where you are trying to store a single value in it. Now for suppose there is a requirement where the customer wants uh, to see all the, okay, I don't want to discuss about arrays right now. I just want to discuss about the loops concepts. Today we will discuss about loops, tomorrow we will see array, then you can understand it better.
Okay.
I'll just give you the loops and if conditions. So for us, let us imagine like if the customer wants to find if a given number is even or not, the basic program. So to find this, first you need to give a number. So int n equal to some 12 or 13. And now I want to identify whether this number is even or not. So what is the logic in maths to identify a number is even or not?
So
It should be divisible by 2 if it is an even number.
divisible by 2, yeah.
If it is divisible by 2, if you get a remainder of 0,
By 0.
then you can say, if the remainder is 0, then you can say that the given number is divisible by 2. So in order to perform that, you are having if is a condition where within the brackets you will specify what your condition is. So I am trying to perform n divided by 2 and I am trying to find out the remainder. Okay, I'll just show you this. N equal to n percentile 2. So what if I print this? Okay, if I'm trying to print this, it will say that the remainder is 1, because after 2 6 are 12 and you will get the remainder as 1. So that's why it is giving you 1. But if I want to print the quotient, then I have to use by symbol. See, now if you are considering the quotient, then you have to use the by symbol. And if you want to find the percentage, if you want to find the remainder, then you have to use the percentile symbol. Okay, so based on this logic, if you want to find if the number is even or odd, you have to use if condition. If n, now I want to find the remainder of it. So to find the remainder of it, I need to use percentage symbol. So if n percentile 2 equal to 0. So in Java, the single equal to means it is an assignment operator where you are trying to assign the number 13 to n. So single equal to refers to the assignment operator, whereas double equals is a comparison operator. It will help you to compare two values. So whatever the output that you will get by performing n percentile 2 will be compared with the 0. Okay. Now, if it is divisible by 2, if the remainder is 0, you will say given number is even. Else, given number is odd. So if I try to run this, as I have given n as 13, n is odd number. So what it will do, this condition is not satisfied. So it will go into the else condition and it will execute whatever the code is written here. So let's check for even as well. Given number is even. Now instead of that, I don't want to give given number is even. I want to print whatever the number that I have given and I want to say it is even number. If I want to print in that way, you have to just specify the number first, n plus. The plus is the concatenation operator. The plus is called as concatenation operator, which will help you to combine two things.
Yeah.
So now 14 number is even. you want to print along with the number, you have to do by using the plus symbol and combine the string, the rest of it. Now I would just, instead of just checking whether it is an even or odd number, the client wants you to check and just to print out all the even numbers between 1 to 100. So in this case, you can't simply give the input like 1, 2, 3 like that. So in that case, you have to go for a loop, which will perform a repetitive action. So in order to do a repetitive action, you are having different types of loops in Java, like for, while, do while. We'll start with for. First I'll say the syntax of for. First you have to give for, within the bracket you have to initialize the values and then give the condition to it.
Condition and increment.
Increment or decrement. So these are the steps that we need to follow. In this case, when n is equal to 100, we have to give for, and I want to initialize the value. So already here I have initialized the value now, so I can simply say that's n. Or else if I want to start it from here,
You can just remove the initialization. Int n is equal to
int n equal to 0, sorry 1, and I want to perform until n less than or equal to 100.
n less than to 100.
N plus plus. So plus plus means it will increase by 1. The value will increase by 1.
Okay.
And if you are using n minus minus,
Decrement.
it will decrease by 1. Now I want to check whether the number n is even or not. So inside this I will put my condition.
If condition.
If n percentage 2, I have to give 0, then print n. So now it will give me all the even numbers between 2 to 100. Now I want to print the numbers in the reverse order. Now I want to print the numbers from 100 to 1 in the descending order. So in that case, you have to give n equal to 100 and the condition changes to
0, I think.
n greater than 0,
less than 0, and n minus minus.
N greater than 0 and n minus minus. Now it will give me in the reverse order. And if I want to print only the odd numbers, in that case, I have to check if it is not equal to 0. If it is not equal to 0, then it is an odd number. So I have to remove 1 equal to, and this is called as negation operator. The exclamation mark is called as negation operator. Means negative,
for prime,
opposite
we have
of it.
to go with 3, I think, right? For prime numbers?
For prime numbers, I'll say the logic. How you will define a prime number? The prime number.
I think divisible by itself and 0.
Divisible by itself. It's not divisible by 0.
Actually, no, itself and 1.
Itself and 1.
Yeah, one.
So now let us write a prime number program then. So it should be divisible by itself or 1. And we already know that like 1 is not a prime number. Oh no, sorry. 1 is a prime number. 1 is a prime number. You already know that 1 is a prime number and you don't need to consider it. Now you want to check from 2. So your loop should start from 2. This will become like 2 loops you need to do. So for int I equal to 0, or suppose I equal to 2 because we already know that 1 is a prime number. So simply if you want to print that 1, you will just give system.out.print 1. And if I want to check for the rest of the numbers between 2 to let's take the I value maximum for 15, I less than or equal to 15, I plus plus. Okay, now the condition is you don't need to check until 15. Now if the number is 2, you need to check until the 2, you have to multiply like 1, let me consider 5. For suppose I equal to 5, in that case what should happen, it should check whether I is divisible with 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. So the maximum value you need to check is the number itself, right? After 5 you won't find the numbers which are divisible by 5, which are the factors of 5. You just need to identify the numbers which are until that particular number. So what I'll do, I'll put one more for loop within that. Int j equal to 2, j less than or equal to I, j plus plus. Now what is this condition mean? It is saying that you are trying to compare when j equal to 2, you are taking j equal to 2, and then you are checking whether it is less than that I or not. Let us start like if I percentile and j equal to 0. So now you are trying to divide these both numbers, and if the remainder is 0, then you can say that it is a factor of it. But in order to find the prime number, you have to find the situation if it is not divisible by this particular.
But a prime number in program will be very difficult, right? Surekha?
Little bit difficult, but we can try. Like I did not try after a long time. I'm trying this, but let me try whether I can do on my own or not. So if the prime number condition is like if it is not divisible, you can simply say that if any particular number is not divisible by itself, అలా ఉండదు కదా, every number is divisible by itself other than 0 or 1 means you have to identify number of factors. If the number of factors are greater than 2, which means like if it is greater than but dividing by itself or and by 1, other than that if you're having any other factors, that means it is not a prime number, right? So now I need to find how many factors I am having for it. Int count equal to 0. ఇది కీస్ అది బయట కీస్. Int count equal to 0, and I'm trying to find if j equal to 2, j less than or equal to I. Until this I'm checking, and if the number is divisible by 2, I have to do a count plus plus operation. So I'm just increasing the count. And after this for loop, I'll check if count is greater than 2, count is less than or equal to 2, system.out.println I. Let me try 3
It's okay, Surekha. We can continue the class. I'll think if I can find. Yeah.
I'll say you tomorrow. It's been like many days that I tried the prime program. It needs like 2 for loops, and you need to put the logic for writing any Java program is you need to understand the mathematical logic behind it.
Yeah, I will learn it.
Wait. Let me check.
I think once if all the loops, then we will might be able to understand also even this one.
Yeah, even I felt like that. Yeah.
Yeah, because all the switch and all so many loops will be there. Right?
Let me see what I have missed. This is to test whether it is a prime number or not. This is not the code. Okay, I'll check that.
Meaning of flag, Sureka, there?
Just it is a boolean variable. You are trying to check whether it is a prime number or not. So
Oh,
if this number is divisible by 2, while it is less than its own number, then you are just changing it the boolean value to true, means it is a prime number. So then you are not printing that prime number like that. If not flag, if it is not true, then you are printing it as a prime number.
So from one condition, it's entering the other condition if it's false.
In tomorrow's class, I'll tell you in detail.
Yeah, I got it.
and I think for checking whether a particular number is prime or not is a little bit easy, but to find all the prime
All the
numbers,
prime numbers between that range is a difficult program.
that will be
If you want to find whether the prime number or not, that is easy. But if you
Yeah.
want to
That is
check
easy.
like until 15, what are the prime numbers? If you want to print that, that is difficult.
100, those and all will be difficult.
Or we can give the condition, right? Divisible by 1 or itself.
That condition we need to put it in a correct way.
Yeah.
There somewhere I have made some mistake. Okay. So remember the syntax, like the initialization, condition, increment or decrement. That you need to do.
Okay.
Now after for loop, I'll just show you the while loop and do while loop as well. For the same scenario, if you want to just print whether the given number is even or odd only, if you want to do by using while loop, the syntax difference is here you are initializing, putting the condition and incrementing and decrementing within that braces itself, within that for loop. But for here, the initialization will be outside. Like I have to give int n equal to 0 outside, and I have to give the condition within this braces, like n less than or equal to 100, and I want to check whether it is even or not. If it is even, I am just printing out the number. And after printing this number,
Come out with the condition and we have to put increment, I think.
yeah, increment. If you are not putting increment, now first I'll just give you the positive scenario.
Okay.
And if I'm running it, now you will get all the numbers. But if I'm not putting this increment condition, it will go into an infinite loop. Because how this code works is, initially the n value is 0. It will come and check 0 is less than or equal to 100. It is fine. 0 is divisible by 0. It is also fine. Then it will just print the value, and again it will go to this place. If again the n value is 0, it will do the repetitive work. So now
So it will be keep on coming in output.
yeah, it will be an infinite loop. There won't be any stop.
Either we can put the break, right?
Yeah, if you put a break, like if I am putting a break statement inside this, then only once it will work.
It will
Like
only
if this
work
condition
once.
is satisfied, now only one time you'll be able to see that output 0.
Yeah.
So break is to come out of the loop.
Just only one condition will work there.
Yeah.
So the performance will happen only once basically.
See, in this case, I have given n plus plus as well, but still, if I'm giving break statement here,
Mm.
it will just come out of the loop. You'll get only 0 as the output.
Mm.
It is not going to consider until 100. See, even in the for loop also, it's same only. You can use the
Yeah.
break statement there as well. The same steps you're doing, just the syntax is different. So they'll ask you like when you have to go for loop and when you have to go for infinite loop. So if you know the end condition, like if you want to print only till 100 numbers, in those conditions you can go for, when you know the end
For
point,
loop.
you can go for loop. But if you are not knowing the number, what will be the end number or end condition where you have to stop this program, then you will go for while loop.
Mm.
So there will be situations like take the example of your login. So if the user is trying to do 5 consecutive login attempts which are invalid, then after the 5th attempt you need to block him. So you don't know whether that person will do it continuously 5 times or not. So in that case, what they will do, they'll just give one variable which will take the count for how many times he's doing that action repetitively. And if he did the 5th, after the 5th time also, if he's doing the same, then they'll just simply put a break statement and they'll come out of the loop and they'll log the account. That is like in real time scenario while you are
Okay.
coding. So in for loop, you'll have the end condition, whereas in while loop, you will use it when you don't know the end condition. But it does not mean that you cannot use it if you don't know the end condition. You can use it even though you know the end or if you don't know the end, but it is preferable to use while loop when you don't know the end condition. Did you got the
Okay.
point?
Yeah.
If you don't know where to stop, in those cases you can go for while loop. When you know it, it is preferable to go and use the for loop only. In the similar way, we are having like do while loop. I don't think you know this as well. So in do while loop, the syntax is different. So first you have to start with do and you're not checking any condition at the starting. At the end, you will check while n is less than or equal to 100. And this ends with a semicolon. So in this case, if I am trying to give a number 101, okay, and I'm just trying to print the number. In this case, the condition is not satisfied because n is not less than or equal to 100. But still, the code will execute because in the starting, you're not checking any condition and you're just asking it to do the code. So for the first time, it will do the code, and in the second iteration, it will check. So in the scenarios where you want at least one time the code to be executed, in those scenarios, you have to go for do while loop. If I give like 100 here now, it will work. And I have to use n minus minus. Now why is it going into infinite loop? Can you say? It is just performing the n minus minus operation to the infinite times. And this condition it will be always less than 0. If I want to stop this, I have to give the condition which is greater than or equal to 100. Okay, now it came into the loop. N is 100. It came into the loop. It just printed the number. But I'm trying to do a decrement operator on it. So it becomes 99. 99 is not less than or equal to 100. So the condition is not satisfied. So it will just come out of the loop.
Yeah. Good.
Now it will again, if I give n plus plus, it will go to infinite loop because it is always incrementing the operation. So you have to go for do while loop only if you want to execute the code once in a positive way and then check the condition in the second iteration. Let us stop here because she's not there, and again she'll get confused in the next classes if I say erase also today.
Yeah.